All right, we are doing another video. Well, this one's not really a video. This one's going to be slightly different because this wasn't a video podcast. This was just audio. So there's no like video screen attached to what I'm doing. However, because we are going to include video, I'm going to have to go through a slightly different process of creating like some background movement videos in Project Canva because it's just easier. And then having the text align over that. Since there's no visual component to this, this was just a Twitter space. But I'm going to go ahead and go through right now. I'm just editing any issues. This is going to be a short clip, which is great because then I think we'll see how much I get down. I know there's a portion here I have to delete. If I can get it down to a minute and make it a short, great. If not, I can make it, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if we get it down to a minute. But right now I'm going through listening to what I want to cut out, and then I'm going to go through and get rid of, actually, let me see if there's any word gaps I need to get rid of. There's just one. And then any filler words like ums, and there's none of those. Again, it's a pretty short clip, so I'm going to listen through and see where we're going to cut things up.
Did that is because it really fits our ecosystem.
Oh, I do see one spelling error here already. Tau is actually tau. It is used in multiple places, so we'll update that.
We do not want to be an exit liquidity for a tau whale. We paired with tau, but the reason we did that is because it really fits our ecosystem for what we're going to be mining in deep in, right? So how
deep in is actually deep in. And there is multiple reference, or at least two references, so we'll correct all.
Right? So how we're big.
Wait, where did it go? Hold on. Oh, I see what it did. Court, shut up. Sorry, my dog heard something. So this is actually in, and if I hit correct, it was pulling from here, that's why. So, and then down here, where's that other one?
To mine deep in.
There it is. All right, that was the longer way to do it, but it still worked. All right, let's try again.
We do not want to be an exit liquidity for a tau whale. We paired with tau, but the reason we did that is because it really fits our ecosystem for what we're going to be mining in deep in, right? So how we're
should I be in deep in, not a deep in? Mining in deep. It pulled it as an A. Hold on.
We're going to be mining in deep in, right?
I want to say that's supposed to be in. It just makes more sense grammatically, right? Oh no, I didn't want to do all of them. So close that. Just the one. Yeah, that makes more sense.
We're going to be mining in deep in, right? So how we're big fans of being gas efficient, right?
So this is unnecessary. We'll take that part out.
We're big fans of being gas efficient, right? We want liquidity to come into tau, but we don't want to be exit liquidity. We're going to be able to provide value through buybacks, through.
There's two throughs. We don't need both of those.
Through buybacks, through token distribution, through the liquidity.
We got another double through.
Through token distribution, through the liquidity pools, because the Uniswap V2 liquidity pools provide a way for us to reward people participating in the system in an incredibly gas efficient way. We can literally just send tokens to an address and call a sync function, and everybody gets rewarded. That is an insanely gas efficient way to reward everybody participating in our ecosystem. And to be straight, RapTau is just
RapTau. No. 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙖𝙜. Just the one? Okay.
Straight 𝙎𝙤𝙤 is just the first liquidity pool. When we start bringing out more LSTs, like they're LSTs, liquidity staking tokens. It's not like we've been shy about this. There's going to be multiple, and it's not going to be Ethereum.
But when it's not gonna be Ethereum, a lot of new players gonna join SETI.
Now, see this section with, so this is someone that was brought up during this space to ask questions. And while I'm not like discounting his question or anything like that, my goal with these videos is to provide the answers to people that, because spaces are so long, I try to provide bite-sized pieces of relevant information to help answer questions. One, because it continues to reuse that content in a productive way. But also, if I'm choosing topics that are being discussed, then I can just link to that video that we've now posted on X and be like, oh, you had this question of why are we using 𝙎𝙤𝙤? Well, here's the video that explains it because, you know, it was discussed in this space. So that is the goal here. I will probably take out this guy's remarks because really all I'm after is the answer.
In the future, and because of little liquidity of Ethereum, they are going to lose money to MEV bots, and it's not good. Maybe you can increase a little bit liquidity.
No, we would never do that. And I just explained to you why. The emission schedules of tau is so high.
So I'm thinking from here to there might be good. What's that drop us down to? 1:53. Still not short enough for a short, but
the emission schedules of tau is so high, right? There hasn't been happening for it. So these guys, like, if you look at how much people are making in tau.
Don't think we need this section.
If you look at how much people are making in tau right now through mining, through being.
And I don't think we need this.
Look at how much people are making in tau right now through mining, through being a subnet.
I don't think the A is anything. I don't even think he says A.
People are making tau right now through mining.
Oh, they is supposed to be in. So I'm just going to replace that. I don't know why it misunderstands the way, I guess Aaron's, because this is Aaron talking, and I've known Aaron for like 20 some years. So he's got a very bold and deep type of voice, like very loud. And I think, I don't know if it's like a Canadian thing or what, he doesn't particularly enunciate certain words. Like he's because he's so bold and loud, I think his words kind of meld together a little bit. So I think it's having a harder time understanding.
Look at how much people are making in tau right now through mining, through being a subnet owner, through being a validator. These are pretty wild. Just based on that fact, at some point.
Just based on that fact.
Based on that fact, at some point, if we took half our.
I'll take this out. I think this is all technically.
If we took half our liquidity and paired it.
Like a comma, not a period.
Just based on that fact, at some point, if we took half our liquidity and paired it with Ethereum, I guarantee you our price would probably tank immediately as somebody exits tau. That's not something we want to be a part of or facilitate. We are just here.
Amen to that. But that's the end of a sentence, kind of. Yeah.
Tau. That's not something we want to be a part of or facilitate. We are just here to mine deep in and provide infrastructure and provide value based on that. And we're at a.
I want to say a comma. You know, so here's the thing. Grammar or punctuation is not my strong suit. Well, either one at all. Half of this is going to be just guesstimating on my part what makes sense.
Provide infrastructure and provide value based on that. And we're at a point now where, you know, we're buying millions of dollars.
Why did it sound like it said we're at a that twice. Like, hearing that wrong?
Value based on that. And we're at a point now.
It did. But there's no double word here, so I don't think there's anything I can do there. But I think I can take out this because that's a filler word. And then I'll fix some of the capitalization while I'm in here.
Now, where we're buying.
Let me start up here.
Now, where.
No, I want to start up here.
These are pretty wild, just based
Not
on
that far.
fact. At some point, if we took half our liquidity and paired it with Ethereum, I guarantee you our price would probably tank immediately as somebody exits Tau. That's not something we want to be a part of or facilitate. We are just here to mine deep in and provide infrastructure and provide value based on that. And we're at a point now where we're buying millions of dollars of compute. We're self-funded. We're not using VCs. And there's a reason for that, because
don't need that. I could use a period there.
We're not using VCs. And there's a reason for that, because if we go to VCs and we suckle off their teat, man.
And that is teat. I love being in a role, because for those of you that follow Misfit at all, which is my business, we're very unconventional in some of our marketing and language and all of that. But I love working with clients that don't have to be so PC, not PC so much as like they can say stuff like this and it's perfectly normal. You know what I mean? I like that kind of stuff.
We suckle off their teat, man. How are we going to decentralize AI? We're going to be beholden to them, and we ain't at this point. We're beholden to you guys, the community, and that's what I love.
I love that we're ending there too. Perfect. All right, so we got it down to 1:50, which isn't short enough for a YouTube short, so I don't have to worry about doing multiple sizes of the video, like landscape versus portrait, short versus long form content. But now I have to make this more interesting. So one of the things I'm going to do is, so 1:50, I'm going to open up Canva. I use Canva for this because they have a really good library of stock video and things like that. So what I tend to do is I'll grab things like this, which is specifically just AI or tech-oriented video. And then I'll put that in the background and have the text captioned on top of it, because it just provides a visual element since we don't have any video. And I think I even have like a small outro here. And I'll probably add some sound in there. Why does that look like it's off? There we go. So let's see. This video is 20 seconds. That's 11, 12, and then we got 7 at the end. So I need, so it's like 40, let's say 42-ish seconds. And what did we say this was at? 1:50. So we're going to need some more video in here. So I'm just going to continue to play off of this. I'm going to do a search for video under video for AI. And a lot of these I have used before, but I'm just going to mix and match regardless. See, that one just seems so wild, distracting. I don't know. Maybe this one. And how long is that video? 25 seconds. All right, so what does that put us at? What did I say we were at before? 40. So that would be about a little bit over a minute. So let's get another video in here. I kind of want to do, well, this, yeah, let's do like a server room or something. Oh, this one's neat. Let's do that one. And that's 13. So we're going to need another one. Maybe. This is kind of the same stuff, but. The only issue with using something like this, I don't know data center hardware. That is not my skill set. I am web design, marketing, code, usually PHP, JavaScript. I haven't had time to really jump into like Python or anything, but I don't know if these are even like I don't want to use equipment in a video that's irrelevant to what we're doing. So I don't want to be like, oh yeah, these are servers. Well, what the hell kind of servers are those? I don't know. What is that? I think that's more consumer based. So I don't want to. What is this? I'm just curious what this one is. See, I love interfaces like this. Why can't I have my computer look like that? You know what I mean? I probably could. Does this show gear? Yeah, it kind of does. I don't want cartoons. Maybe something like this. Like a little board action. That's another 13. So where are we at? 40, I'll say 45, 50. That's a minute and 6 seconds. 18. Should be 22. I think I do need a little bit more. Oh, this says 5G. Well, the text will be over it. I think it'll be fine. Well, does it scroll to the... Yeah, all right, we won't use that one. I don't want anything that signals speed because, again, I don't... This is about a specific hardware. Okay, maybe data center is just not a good word to use. We'll go back to AI. We'll just pull something I've used before, but it's still nice. What was that one? That one's 19. So I know I'm probably going to need at least one more video in here. I've used this one before. I think I'll just use it again, though. That's 30 seconds. All right, so where are we at? So we got 50, 70, so it's a minute and 10, 20, 30, 40. I think overall it'll be, yeah. Actually, I might have too much now. So maybe I'll take this one off. Then we got our sing. So I think what I will do real quick is I'll download this, make sure it's long enough, and then I'll incorporate some music and the outro. So we're starting at page 11. This is probably not the most efficient way of doing this, but all right, let's try these. But I'm also tired. This is just a way that I can do pretty easily. So once this downloads, I'm going to stick it in the background of this and then format the captions on top of it. Make sure the timing is long enough for the video to accommodate the length of the audio. And then if that's all set, I will add music to it, kind of like a low-grade background tech style music. And then maybe a couple pieces of soundbite on the outro, but not much. And honestly, I have 2 pre-made outro videos. I might incorporate even beyond that. So we'll see. If I do that, let's see. Go away. Is it still downloading? It would be after this. And I want to say I've already got one of them uploaded, or the one I want to use uploaded. Maybe. Oh, wait, it's under video. With this one? Yes. This one is the one I would use. And I might actually take the URL. It's got a fade, yeah. So if like for this, I might do typing. Take that out. And just some techie sound effects. We'll see. But first, let's try this out. We are going to add a new file. And it's going to be this as the background. And I think I need to put it in the back. So layer order, here we go. And then we need to add our captions over top, which we're now going to bring up to the middle. And then where is my window? There we go. If I wanted the text to be a little bigger, something like that maybe. All right, let's see how the length of, actually I'm going to probably skip ahead.
How are we going to decentralize AI? We're going to be beholden to them, and we ain't at this point. We're beholden to you guys, the community, and that's what I love.
All right, so it stops right about that video, or the beginning of that video, which was, which video was that? Wait. I don't see that video in the ones we were using. What? Did I upload the right video?
The reason we did that is because it really fits. Tau is so high with Ethereum to mine deep in and provide infrastructure and provide value based on that. And we're at a point now where we're buying millions of dollars of compute. We're self-funded. We're not using VCs. And there's a reason for that, because if we go to VCs and we suckle off their teeth, man, how are we going to decentralize AI? We're going to be beholden to them, and we ain't at this point. We're beholden to you guys, the community, and that's what I love.
So this is just a really short one, but how much of it are we using? Not much. So 146 to 150, so 4 seconds. Maybe 3. And then it'll go into this, and then it'll go into this as the, but I don't want this to come in right away. I want it to come in right about there. So now what I'll do, why is this a layer? What is this? What is that? I don't know what this is supposed to be. What is that? I guess that was supposed to be there. It's weird. All right, so now I talk to myself while I do this. If I'm live streaming, sorry about that. And it's here too. That's so weird. It's like it's a double layer. So now I'm going to work on just some kind of background audio. It's probably one I've already used before because I've got a fairly decent variety already uploaded. But let's take a look. Let's see what this one sounds like. That one might be a little bit too much. I need something a little more subtle. No. Ooh, definitely not subtle. I think I might try that. So we're going to add our music in. Let's see how it starts out. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And does it go all the way to the end? It does, but I know I'm messy with my Canva files. I've got a bunch all in one file and I shouldn't. But you know who cares? Not this girl. She don't care. I want to do a quiet fade out of about ½ a second here at the end. Let's see what that sounds like. Perfect. And then I'm going to add, let's see, we're going to add a little bit of a glitch sound when the URL comes in. And I think I have a couple here. So right about here, I think. Perfect. And then I did want to put a typing sound here, which I know I had one, and then it went away, and then I uploaded another one that I don't like as much, but I might just use it anyway. But we don't want it for the whole thing. Let's see what this sounds like. See, that doesn't need to be as long as it is. And the typing needs to end right there. And I think there needs to, sorry about the chickens, like a slight, maybe a dissolve transition between that. That was just too much of a stopgap. Yeah. Oh, we also, because we shortened everything, we have to move everything else back around. So where does the URL come in? Right about there. Make sure the typing still works. Yeah. All right, so the only other issue I'm going to have is I want the sound to be louder on the outro. And for a while I was doing this in Descript, but I think it's just going to be easier to do it in Canva. What do I want to do here? Is it under effects? It's not effects. What do they call it in Canva? Split. There we go. So what I want is for this one to fade out a little bit and be not as loud, because this is while he's going to be speaking. And then I want it to technically get a little louder, like a little fade in, once we get to the non-speaking part. So first, let's see what this sounds like. And actually, I don't like the cold. It needs to transition there too. Nope, I don't like that. I think, no, that's not what I want to do. I think if I take the fade out off, and I also noticed, and again, I'm still editing with this, not all of these have these overlays because, again, we just added them. So we are just going to make sure the overlays with the URL and everything are on both. Perfect. And now we're going to see what this transition sounds like. Maybe it needs to be longer because that just sounds weird. You see how it, it sounds weird is the issue I'm having. But it doesn't make sense for this to fade out because it's already low. It can't fade to lower and then go up. But what I wanted here, and maybe I just need to do it even longer, like a long fade, but it's too, I don't know what you call it. I call it stark. It's too dramatic. Actually, you know what my problem? Maybe I'm doing it too long because it sounds like it's starting too low. It's better. This is the tedious part. I'm not even good at this, so I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it currently. I think it's subtle enough. Now this needs to be brought back over here. And then the timing is correct on the glitch. I can move it over a little bit. Let's try it there. All right. So now we're going to download it again. And I think we start at page 11. And then we've got our outro. And while that's downloading, I'm going to delete the old one. We'll re-add it. Make sure everything lines up. Do any last minute adjustments. But I think we'll be in pretty good shape. We have two more AMAs I still haven't gone through. This is the one from April. So I could go through May. I finished going through the podcast that was also video with Mark Jeffrey. So I got 2 more AMAs to go through. By the time I get through them, we'll probably have another one scheduled in June because I don't do a video every day. I do posts every day, but I try not to like just constantly put out video or like the same style video. I'll do other videos. But I love when they give me the audio like this because it definitely gives me a lot of content to work with. And there's a lot of questions when it comes to crypto in general that this just allows me to answer those questions with a video. Wait, did that not save the right way? Oh no, there it is. That was weird. All right, let's try it again. That was a hiccup. Sorry. All right, let's add this new layer. We want to put it in the back, and we're going to see how everything lines up with the text and with the volume. I can make Aaron louder.
We do not want to be an exit liquidity for a Tau whale. We paired with Tau, but the reason we did that is because it really fits our ecosystem for what we're going to be mining in DPIT, right? We're big fans of being gas efficient, right? We want liquidity to come into Tau, but we don't want to be exit liquidity. We're going to be able to provide value through buybacks, through token distribution,
and
through the liquidity pools, because the Uniswap V2 liquidity pools provide a way for us to reward people participating in the system in an incredibly gas efficient way. We can literally just send tokens to an address and call a sync function, and everybody gets rewarded. That is an insanely gas efficient way to reward everybody participating in our ecosystem. And to be straight, WrapTau is just the first liquidity pool. When we start bringing out more LSTs, like they're LSTs, liquidity staking tokens. It's not like we've been shy about this. There's going to be multiple, and it's not going to be Ethereum. The emission schedules of Tau is so high, right? There hasn't been happening for it. If you look at how much people are making in Tau right now through mining, through being a subnet owner, through being a validator, these are pretty wild. Just based on that fact, at some point, if we took half our liquidity and paired it with Ethereum, I guarantee you our price would probably tank immediately as somebody exits Tau. That's not something we want to be a part of or facilitate. We are just here to mine deep in and provide infrastructure and provide value based on that. And we're at a point now where we're buying millions of dollars of compute. We're self-funded. We're not using VCs. And there's a reason for that, because if we go to VCs and we suckle off their teeth, man, how are we going to decentralize AI? We're going to be beholden to them, and we ain't at this point. We're beholden to you guys, the community, and that's what I love.
Wait a minute. Where did the rest of that sound go?
LSTs, liquidity staking tokens.
It's the studio sound thing. Did that do that?
It's not like we've been shy about this. There's going to be multiple, and it's not going to be Ethereum.
So the studio sound fucked, or excuse my language, messed with the audio there for the sound. But what if I did this? Huh. Does not let me target the audio without the video audio. And you'll notice that the outro and stuff doesn't show, and it's only because the project cuts off at where the original file, the original audio cuts off. But actually, does this let me? I'm going to zoom in here real quick. Not that far. And bring this up so I know there's the captions. So I think this is the video.
That's what I love.
Yeah. So now I just, and this again, this is kind of a goofy way of doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If I just drag it out so it continues beyond that, and it's a little bit of a pain because I'm dragging all of this, but it's to get the outro in here too.
We do not want to be an...
Nope, don't start at the beginning. We want to be at the end. And I know a lot of people are like, you shouldn't bother with intros and outros. You know, we're just trying to brand here. So does the music stop right there? Okay. So this should be our full outro then, pretty much. All right, good. So that, I mean, it seems fine. I don't know why when I tried to apply the studio sound, it was messing with the...
We do not want to be an exit liquidity for a tau whale. We've paired with tau, but the reason we did that is because it really...
I want to be able to just target this audio and not the audio here, the audio effects. Maybe I could do it here, but here's the thing. Do you see how it automatically chops all of this? I don't know why it does that. And I haven't found a way to select them all besides doing Control A, which also would select the studio sound up here. But if I Control A and then select, let me try Control A and then Control unselect that. What if I did Control A to select all the audio bits, apply the studio sound, and then unapplied it for the music? Because the music, it seemed like when I did the studio sound with the music, it took the music off. So we'll see. This is where I'm still learning Descript. I usually use like DaVinci for video editing, but because a lot of this, I just want it to auto-transcribe. It honestly, Descript has been amazing for just basic video editing like this. If I wanted to get in more details and more effects, obviously something like Adobe Premiere would be ideal, but this does cut out a whole bunch of time with the captions and the transcribing and some of the effects that it does have for sound. Is, I don't know, I just like it. Everybody gets a preference, and this just happens to be mine. So when this is done, we're going to try this out and see if that, because the studio sound, if you've been watching me do any of this over the last couple, like 2 weeks or whatever, the studio sound makes such a difference in the quality of the speaking. Like some of the videos we did 3 weeks ago of the video podcast, that was the hash rate podcast, you could hear like fans in the background and all these other, you know, little intricacies to the sound, but hitting studio sound made it sound like it was in a like recording room with professional equipment. I mean, just the flick of a button made that happen. I'm so impressed with their integration there. But not if it takes up music. So that's what I gotta figure out. And I think once I'm done this video, I'll probably end the stream, because again, I'm only doing these for every now and then when I just feel like it's maybe something useful for people. But and this style of video is a little different than the last 2 or 3 I did a live stream on, where it's an actual video with people that you can see. Because then I didn't have to worry about this background integration, and I don't think I even added music to those. So this one's slightly different. I guess it's still applying. If you guys are watching, because it says there's a couple dozen people watching right now, feel free to leave a comment. I don't know how much StreamYard shows me. I don't think it shows me Twitter. But I'm also on LinkedIn and YouTube. I know it'll show YouTube. I assume it will show LinkedIn, but honestly, I don't know there either. I guess I could look on my phone. Still applying. Oh, I see Cameron and Katie were watching on X. Downloading media files. What are you downloading media files for? Doesn't make any sense. Why is it saying I was live on LinkedIn? I still am. Whatever. Maybe it has to convert it to me. I don't know. All right, let's listen and see what this sounds like.
It really fits our ecosystem for what we're going to be mining in 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤, right? We're big fans of being
Did you notice, if you guys have been watching, did you notice the difference in the quality of his voice? It wasn't so sharp because of the, I guess, not the echo where he's at, but the sound quality of the room he was in is way different
efficient,
now.
right? We want liquidity to come into 𝙬, but we don't want to be exit liquidity. We're going to be able to provide value through buybacks, through token distribution, through the liquidity pools, because the Uniswap V2 liquidity pools provide a way for us to reward people participating in the system in an incredibly gas efficient way. We can literally just send tokens to an address and call a sync function, and everybody gets rewarded. That is an insanely gas efficient way to reward everybody participating in our ecosystem. And to be straight, Wrap 𝙬 is just the first liquidity pool. When we start bringing out more LSTs, like they're LSTs, liquidity staking tokens. It's not like we've been shy about this. There's going to be multiple, and it's not going to be Ethereum. The emission schedules of 𝙬 is so high, right? There hasn't been a happening for it. If you look at how much people are making in 𝙬 right now through mining, through being a subnet owner, through being a validator, these are pretty wild. And just based on that fact, at some point, if we took half our liquidity and paired it with Ethereum, I guarantee you our price would probably tank immediately if somebody exits 𝙬. That's not something we want to be a part of or facilitate. We are just here to mine deep in and provide infrastructure and provide value based on that. And we're at a point now where we're buying millions of dollars of compute. We're self-funded. We're not using VCs. And there's a reason for that, because if we go to VCs and we suckle off their teat, man, how are we going to decentralize AI? We're going to be beholden to them, and we ain't at this point. We're beholden to you guys, the community, and that's what I love.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. I see some slight changes I could do, but the reality of the situation with a lot of these videos like this, like the subtle intricacies of things that I would change if I wanted to be a perfectionist, doesn't match up to what the target audience is going to pay attention to. So it doesn't always make sense, like for me, to do that, because again, I'm on a time crunch too. I'm getting paid to get these out and be efficient. So I think we are good for this particular video that I will post on the 𝙬𝙤𝙤𝙤. What in the world? 𝙬𝙤𝙤𝙤 X account, because that's the only social that they are interested in. Maybe YouTube. We're going to probably start a YouTube here shortly. But you just export it, pick your resolution. I usually go for as high as possible, which for this one looks like it might only be the 720. And you can also export just the audio. You can export the transcript, which I do. It exports it into a doc file, and I'll send that to some of like our French holders because it's easier for them to translate that way. But otherwise I'll just export the video and it'll include everything. So we'll call this final. And then as it exports, I will start setting up the social media post. I'll get that out there and start going through. This is the first video from the April AMA, so I've got a whole hour of content to go through and pick out sections that are relevant or explain a point that we really want to promote. So I'm going to end the stream, but feel free to like, subscribe, and follow, or whatever platform you're on, because I actually enjoy doing these live because I like showing people how to do this stuff, but it also kind of holds me a little bit accountable for the work that I'm doing and creating content. So I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch an export percentage, so I'll go ahead and end it now. But again, like, subscribe, follow, all the cool things. Leave comments too, ask questions, because there could be something else I can show how to do with this. It's not just video editing or whatever. I can show you how to do the podcast stuff in Descript too or something. Anyway,